Any other questions? Yes, Mr. Trevino, and then the lady up front. There is a plan. Well, okay. Let me put it to you this way, because we want to be correct with our FAA requirements. As you all know, if you have read the federal guidelines, and I actually have these are the words. Now, because we do have, I mean, I'm a part of this community. We are very concerned about supporting our local businesses, but I'm going to just read to you what the rule explicitly states. This is what the rule states. Local geographic preference for ACDBEs. And what is the first word on there? No. Okay? So no, we cannot do an explicit, explicit preference for local geographic ACDB participation. But that doesn't mean that we haven't taken into consideration the concerns of our local community. And I think Zanola is in a better position to explain to you what that criteria is, how many points are going to be given, and how all that is going to work. So I'm going to share the podium. Here we go.
Couple of things for our existing concessionaires. We did look at the, our board asked us to provide bonus points to existing concessionaires that are top performers in customer service and sales, as well as those that are compliant with their lease. So they will be given some bonus points. I think it's up to 10 points in that category. Now, the other thing that we're doing to try to make that point way of entry easier for a single proposer is that we will have mixed packages available through the RFP process, meaning that we will have packages that are multiple locations in a package, as well as we will have single locations in a package. And we are doing something a little bit different than what we've done in the past. Each location is going to have its own set rent structure. Today we do it based upon if it's 4 locations in a package, you pay a package MAG. But we're going to be delineating, even in a package, what those MAGs should be. And I think that's going to help in regards to let's say they get a location that may not be as a strong performer as the other, they won't be penalized. They'll know exactly what those rents and how they'll be able to manage their P&L. Anything else?
Yes, ma'am.
NCTRC had applied for a DBE certification, but then how do you get ACDBE? Is NCTRC going to do it or the airport does it?
NCTRCA does it. You simply for the ACDBE certification is actually rather new. I mean, I think the rules came out in 2008, and it is a new designation that the FAA has come up with. So, but instead of requesting, if you are a seeking to be a concessionaire, you should specifically request for ACDBE participation.
Does it have a different set of
I mean,
rules?
go. Well, there are some differences between being certified a DBE and being certified an ACDBE. And they range from the personal net worth requirement, the size standards are different. There are some exemptions for allowing resources that you won't necessarily find on the DBE side. For instance, you know, don't quote me on the dollar value, but, you know, up to $2 million if it's required to be applied toward for your concession, you can exempt that from your personal net worth. I don't know, forgive me what the exact dollar figure is, but I mean, every time I need to reference it, I simply look it up. You exclude the value of your business, you exclude the value of your home. So there is a different formula in some ways for ACDBE certification than there is for DBE certification, particularly on the personal net worth side of the house. Okay. There's a question in the back.
I thought I should speak up. I'm a new vendor seeking, but, so I wanted to be sure I let you know that as you speak, that you're speaking as if everyone is seasoned and I'm not. So if you would also include information that a new person would need to know.
Okay. This presentation is available at the same location that you can find the other material. And a complete set of the presentations, I simply took some slides out and used it for this. There are really, let me tell you, there are 3 components that you need to make sure you understand. One is our emphasis on ACDBE participation and our more restrictive use, because last time, like I said, if you were an MWBE, we simply counted it toward the goal, and that was pretty much it. We're simply not going to do that this time around. That you need to understand, because that's critical. The second thing you need to understand is that it's 15 points, and you need to understand as an ACDBE that we are going to require that you have that certification in place at the time that you submit your response to the RFP. That's also critical. Number 3, and I won't go through the requirements, but you need to make sure you understand what is required in order to be certified as an ACDBE, so when you submit your paperwork, you can pursue that certification and you know you meet the eligibility requirements. Do you have a personal net worth that exceeds $750,000? If you have a personal net worth that exceeds $750,000, you are not eligible to be certified as an ACDBE. And then you must look at, are there exemptions which would reduce my net worth to the appropriate level so that I can pursue those opportunities. So just make sure you understand the nuances of what it means to be certified as an ACDBE and the meaning of that. You also need to understand that, you know, we're going to have an aspirational goal for this particular set of solicitations of 35%. And that is going to be approximately, I mean, don't quote me because all this stuff's always subject to change, approximately 15 points as part of the evaluation criteria. So unless that changes, that's kind of the target where we're looking at. So it will be 15 points. If you want that set of points, you need to make sure you look at that evaluation criteria and you meet it in terms of either having the participation where it needs to be or being able to demonstrate that you made a good faith effort in order to meet the participation. Now, we are a large metropolitan area with a significant number of firms. So, I mean, you know, pro forma kind of, I just waited to the last minute to get this done is not gonna meet it. I'm sending out a denial notice on a $1 million contract a couple of days from now, based upon the person waited until the 7th of July in order to send out their notices. They asked for bids to be turned in on the 9th, and on a $1 million project, when I have to go look at the plans and put together my bid, that is simply not enough time in order to make that type of effective effort in order to encourage and identify firms to participate in that opportunity. So that is not a good faith effort. So, I mean, it's not pro forma. Simply because you send out a couple of emails is not going to satisfy it. We are, good faith means just that. It has substance here at DFW. It means something. And it means that you must make a significant, calculated effort to meet the participation goals. Significant, okay? So going through the motions ain't gonna do it. Follow-up calls, emails, advertisements, outreach events. You must do all those things that show a sincere, committed effort to reach the goal.